All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of 8 in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll dig up a great deal for you.
iPads and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. All right, we're back. We're live once again. You are listening, viewing, whatever. Beyond Sight and Sound. And as I look into the chat, I see that there's already quite a few people dropping in. Good to see. Welcome to Dennis. Gold price tonight, $3,390.60. Silver, $36.99 an ounce. Wow. Man, that's something else. I see that Bortner's in, Bill's in, History Digger's in, Dennis, obviously, Randy DeMario in. He's going to be interested in tonight's show, I know. Scott's in, Allen's in, Rich Crookmeyer. Man, we got him dropping in. Il Digger in the house. Nice. Well, it'll be interesting because this is the last live run before we head out to swing into summer. So let's get Chuck in. He's a little overmodulated tonight, but he can hear us. So we'll get him in. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going very well. Yeah, we got Rob in tonight, a good friend of the channel, and everybody out there, a great detectorist. So he's going to be chatting a little bit with us tonight. And I've been getting some phone calls, people who hadn't signed up yet. and they're coming and all this, and they keep asking me, well, do I get the discount? Well, the discount's over, folks. I'm just putting that across the airwaves tonight. The discount's done. We're sorry.
That went
And
away 10 days ago.
yep, you're very welcome. And meet and greet looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have Debbie there. We'll have Rob Rizzo. We'll have KG. We'll have Ringy. We'll have Josh Kimmel. And yep, we've got a bunch that night, so it's a lot of fun. That's all set up. I mean, it literally is almost across the Route 84, the street from the hunt site. So, and
we'll have the Dirt Pirate herself there.
yeah, Barb will be there creating havoc as usual, I'm sure. So, hi, Barb. Anyway,
yeah, we'll have. I'm pretty sure Rich Crookmeyer will be there too.
Yes, Mr. Richard will be there. And Kevin Smoot, half the Squatch Brothers, he'll be on hand, and he has some history to talk to you about, and he has some
nice. Good to hear Kevin will make it.
Yes, he'll be there. And we got a lot of great people coming in. Some you know, some you might not know, but you'll know better afterwards. And got a good crew. And of course, Frank Juarez, he's going to be on site with us all weekend. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And
yeah.
I'm telling everybody two things. It's the Midwest. It's going to be warm. It's not going to really be warm. It's going to be hot. They're talking 92.
I hear that the Barks Dig team will be there too.
Yeah, I hear that. But you know what? You'll know when you get there. You'll be able to know.
Yes.
Yeah. And we got a few raffles and fun things planned for the meet and greet. And I've got something that I'm raffling off here that'll be part of the meet and greet only. I'll try and get it up to the camera so you can see it. That's a walker. That walker is MS-60 without a problem. And that'll be raffled off at the meet and greet. And there'll be some gold backs and other things in that raffle. And again, sharing proceeds over to my firefighters so we can feed some kids. And I heard from KG.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Yep. KG, they auctioned one of their shovels all signed and made up nice. It brought in $300, which goes towards Cordova Cares and the firefighters. So Gary Penta, he pledged $250. So that'll go a long ways in helping with that, let me tell you.
Yes, it will. And I mean, every little bit helps.
Yes, it does.
Speaking of every little bit and raffles, I'm pretty sure at this point we're probably done doing online ticket sales for the Manicore, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Now that's up to Bob. I didn't catch wind of that, but yeah, I think the online sales are done. He may take it in yet. I don't know. I did not talk to Bob about that today. He might run it right up to the last minute. And I know he's had some sales on it, so that helped too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, we've got a lot of prizes to give out that are nice. Hey, Frank sent us that ugly box. That was nice for that.
That's right. Big shout out to uglygearusa.com.
And one thing that you don't see very often is an XP Deus 2. And the way I understand it, Rob will explain it.
We worked hard trying to pull some strings and get some.
Yes. And kudos to Rob. He'll be on here in a second and explain it all to you. And a bunch of XP swag.
Yeah. So, and speaking of raffles, Rob's got a couple of things too. People are in for some surprises that are attending Swing Into Summer.
Yeah.
We've alluded to it a few times on the show, but felt that it was It was Rob's news to share, so we'll get him in here tonight and let him share that news.
Right.
That way they can get it all in its entirety directly from him. I mean, he's already released a video about it and stuff like that, if I remember right.
Oh, yeah.
Or
If
at
you
least
follow him, you'll know
post
about it.
it.
Correct.
But it doesn't hurt to make sure everybody knows.
Right.
So we'll get Rob in here too. And there he is.
Hey,
Welcome
Rob.
aboard, Mr. Rizzo.
I have to say, I've heard Chuck called many things, but I'm not sure if he's ever been called overmodulated.
No, that's
Chuck, this could be like a T-shirt.
Yep.
Well, take it.
I think in Illinois they just call that chief mode.
That's chief mode. That's all there is to it.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I'm really looking forward to this event. I've been to one other. This was a great event. I haven't seen Mr. Rushing in a while. I'm looking forward to meeting Barbara, Dirt Pirate. I've never met her.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, Josh, are the Chapmans able to make it, and Bortners and
yes, Chapmans will be there. Janet and Jack both.
Yep, that's what I saw. Yes, I don't know how our total ticket sales. They're still going, so it had been up. We'll have a good crew there. We'll have a good crowd.
I'm struggling a little bit. Scotty McClory, put in the thread. He's going to another event, but we know how that happens. We love you, Scotty, but we're gonna miss you.
Well,
That's all right. Scooter. But looking forward to it, guys. It's going to be a hot one, and I'm going to be there with a bunch of XP gear. Can I share, guys, what XP has generously donated?
Yes. Yes.
So maybe some of you have seen the post, but we will be putting out some tokens that can be redeemed for some XP swag. There's, oh my goodness, hats, polo shirts, t-shirts. We've got some Andy Savage books that XP donated, but one lucky winner is going to walk away with an XP Deus 2. And I'll tell you, kudos to Chuck and Josh, because XP is pretty, they're pretty selective on the events they work with, but they know this is a good one, a big one. So another one is going to be walking away with an MI6 pinpointer. My favorite pinpointer. It's a great pinpointer. Just incredible. That will be from XP, and then I am donating.
Ooh.
Josh, you just
here it is.
Almost 40 bucks. This is a 2020 1-ounce silver coin, and you're ready? This is another surprise. Josh and Chuck don't even know about this. Ooh. I'm also donating from the channel, the History Digger channel, a 1 gram gold coin.
Whoa!
Okay, and there is a special prize. Josh knows what it is, but we're going to keep the special prize.
It's a mystery prize.
Yes, so this is meant to be a tease, okay?
Yeah.
And we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
It's a mystery how I came to know about it. It's a mystery prize.
It's a mystery prize.
Whoa.
We're gonna have some fun, guys.
It's gonna be fun though.
There you go. Now, you said at the beginning there that first time getting to meet Barb. You and I need to talk before you do that.
I'm a little worried. I better check the comment.
No. First time I really met Barb was actually at a DIV.
Okay. Yeah.
And she was out
the Florida hunt.
Yep. And then the Florida hunts, and we've had a blast together, and it's a lot of fun. But I just thought I'd give you a heads up
Okay, okay. So you can give me the skinny, but no, I appreciate what she does for.
Yeah.
What you guys do too for
I'll tell
for
you
the
what.
kids
I'll tell
and for the
I'll tell
community.
you what right now. I appreciate what she does. Josh does. When it comes to our kids giveaway at Christmas time, she is the stalwart pusher of that. She has done a phenomenal job over the years. I think will this year be 8 years, Josh? 7.
9, I think, 8 or 9.
9? Oh man, it's time fly. And she's been there right with us since the beginning. So, and by the way, as Barb would probably tell you, it's time to start thinking about Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, she already has been.
Oh yeah. So anyway, she takes a lot of good ribbon. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can
So
dish it out too.
looking forward to it. I hope if anybody's on the fence, I hope they can pull. I know a lot of people. Hey, this is a busy time of the year. Graduation.
yes, it is. Every weekend's got 5 things going on at the same time for everybody.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. Chuck a rock and hit an event or a show.
Yeah.
And good news, bad news. I think there's actually more hunts. Now. I mean,
Than
take
there
COVID
once
out of the
were.
picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
And this is year 8 for the kids' Christmas giveaway, Chuck.
8th. All right. So anyway, you're talking about more hunts. When I first started with the Illinois Iowa Treasure Hunters back in '73, they'd been going since 1971, and they were already having hunts then, and it was attended. I mean, huge because there weren't a lot of formal hunts, and that hunt ran for oh man, 30 years. And now we do the swing in the summer, and it'll be every other year. But they actually set the bar years ago for organized hunts, and they had some great places they had it on in the past. And one of the places is just down the road from where we're at with this hunt was Alina Wick Park. For many years, they hosted the I Treasure Hunter Club hunt, and it was hugely attended. I'm talking a couple hundred people at that time driving from all over the country, and Ray Grip, Don Finch, um, those guys, and a whole list of more
Yeah.
set that hunt up, and it was huge. So, and that was at the time, Rob. We didn't have interconnectivity like you have it now.
No, and I think
That,
people
yeah,
were willing to drive. I have to be honest. I'm bummed. I'm fortunate enough. I'm going back to England in September for 12 days. But darn it, if it doesn't fall right in the middle of the Chicago Dig Fest hunt, which happens to be in Wisconsin.
yep,
Alan knows I'm bummed, and John, I was. Those guys are also doing a phenomenal. I just want to give them a shout out.
yep.
I went to their last hunt, and I mean the hunting was great. The food, the camaraderie, the pride, that was just.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
And speaking of which, they will be at Swing Into Summer this weekend doing the ID meet.
They will. We're doing one there, and that. Oh, by the way, not during meet and greet. Unfortunately, their flights don't get in time for them to come. But Mark Tominski, the vice president and general manager of NACA for U.S., will be there, along with Dilek Goline. She's here from Istanbul. She'll be here. She'll be at our hunt. That's the only hunt they're going to be at. And they've got some surprises for us. That's all I can say about that right now.
They do.
And if you guys haven't signed up, you're going to miss some pretty neat stuff. We try to pull this together. I try to bring in friends like Rob and KG and Ringy. Unfortunately, Ron Guanazzo couldn't be here this year. He's toughing it in Aruba. So,
well, that's rough. I feel
rough. But how cool is it? You go to one event, you're going to see some friends, new and old, maybe win some prizes, probably walk away with some silver.
Yep.
and you can talk with MindLab, you can talk with Nocta, come by the XP booth, and I'm going to be demoing.
There you go. Yep.
This little
And
thing.
now, Rob, can you put something out there for me? They aren't readily available yet.
No.
That is a demo unit. Now, don't everybody call me and say, why don't you have one? Because Rob's got one. Rob is working with XP.
Overmodulated. Come on, you should have. So, no, my understanding is there's been one shipment, right? And it was real limited, right? Chuck, the first one.
Yes.
Like 70. And I, from what I heard from another dealer, I think a second shipment arrived like yesterday. They're starting to trickle down, but they're really
Yeah, and I'm down the list a little ways, so I've got a couple ordered, and I got a couple frenzy-driven XP guys that really want that coil.
Can't wait to get it.
And I talked to them today, and they did get some in.
Yeah.
And they're gone. It was just a little package.
Yeah.
So,
I just popped up a video about it yesterday.
Yeah.
And we can talk more at the show if anybody wants to, but I do want to kind of caution everybody. This is, it's a high frequency coil, and it's obviously elliptical. It's small. And I had a conversation online with somebody about my video, which basically I was saying, hey, I'm excited. It's a specialty coil for like really certain scenarios. And they were, why would you say that? Higher frequency coils are great. They're better with some separation. If you're in a really iron patchy area, the higher frequencies help identify the small items, surely. Just the fact that it's elliptical, you can kind of sneak in some tight spaces. But here's the thing. So that comes at a little bit of a price of, in some cases, depth. But I covered that in the video, but it's meant to be an addition. I would not, in fact, XP doesn't sell, like you can't, if you've never bought a Deus 2 and you said, I want a Deus 2 and I want it with the HF2 coil, they don't sell it that way. You have a choice of either the 9, the 11, or the 11 by 13, the fast multi-frequencies. Those are more everyday coils. Unless you're really, really unique, maybe you only hunt occasionally in trashy parts. But this is the kind of coil you take to a place you want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe see if there's something that's been masked, okay, that this will uncover. But what just one last point, why I'm so jazzed about this, it is multi-frequency, it's high frequency, but it's also a single frequency coil as well, right? So the frequency range this thing can run in single frequency mode is from 9 all the way up to 120 kilohertz. For those of you that like to hunt silver, the lower frequency is better on those high conductive items. So a lot of people are talking high frequency, it's going to help me find chains and gold. And we're all hopeful that's the case. But you also have a silver sniffer here as well if you pop it in single frequency and go down to those lower frequencies, 9 kilohertz. But pop by the XP thing and I'll share with you, I'm still learning, okay, but I'll share with you what I think, what I've learned so far. But carbon fiber shaft, completely new charging system like the previous one. If you're familiar with the previous high frequency coil for the Deus 1, battery's up here actually. It's not in the coil, but pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, plenty to talk about there. But anyway, what I was saying is, how cool is it? You get to go to one event, see everybody, have fun, maybe walk away with some prizes, some silver, and you get to check out, the latest stuff from these vendors. And it's in Illinois.
Now I've got another thing. There's a couple. We've got Alan and John with their ID Me, but we also have a panning competition going on at the Mind Lab booth. So there'll be prizes for that. Go to the Naka booth. There'll be some games there to play and win prizes. We've got a lot of stuff going on. It'll keep you occupied all day. And we actually have all the pavilions, even over at the playground area. we rented both sides. There's two parks there. There's Heritage Park and Empire Park, and they butt up against each other, and we got both sides. It's also a boat ramp in there, so you're right on the banks of the river. Uh, it's a beautiful spot. It's an historic spot because of the War of 1812 played out there, the westernmost battle, and it's pretty neat. So and you get to meet your friends up in a historic spot. If you got time, drive down the road a little further. There's a ramp that goes on to Campbell's Island, and you go out to Campbell's Island, and there is a monument there to that battle. And if you're into that kind of stuff, um, it'll be a good weekend. It'll be a good day.
I'm trying to, I'm listening, I'm scanning the comments. Barb had a really good idea. She said, hey, if people pick up swag that maybe, you already have a finder's pouch or a pair of gloves, stop by and donate it to her for the kids giveaway.
Kids night. Yep, she's always working on that. There you go. There you go. Good idea, Barb. I can't see chat on this setup that I've got here. So, but uh, excellent.
Yep, we're
Excellent.
trying to get Chuck's computer worked on. It's a work in progress.
It's
Question, Chuck. Randy's asking, is the river wadeable for detecting? Can they detect in the river? Maybe not advisable or a little mucky.
You can, but it's a dark water river, and there are holes along that bank. So, I'm not saying you can't. And there's a boat ramp there. There's no beaches. You step off, you get in the water, and I don't know the depth of that area. And if closer that you go towards Hampton, it's fairly deep and fairly fast because you're right below Lock and Dam 14. So that water's really boiling there. So, make your best guess on it. It's not a swimming area, but you might find some fishing poles, and that ramp drops off pretty deep.
Yeah. Just be careful. The Mississippi's dark water.
Yes. So, yeah, and if you decide you want to try Linewick Park, I suggest you stop in the ranger's office, which is at the south end of the property, and see if they'll let you detect. They're pretty good about it, and they do. Excuse me. So,
Awesome. You guys been out recently?
I was out just a few days ago to a spot just for a little bit, mostly clad, a couple Wheaties. I haven't had a lot of extra time here with us.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I want to share a quick story. I had my wife's in this local quilt group, okay, and we go out to breakfast every so once in a while with this one couple, and they're a little senior, but the individual loves to hear, Denny is his name, loves to hear about my metal detecting finds, and I'm always like, by the way, if you know of anybody with an old property, let me know. So a couple months ago, they said the farm that they used to live on, they've now turned over to their kids, right? It's a sheep farm. They said, yeah, the sheep just had some babies. Do you want to come by and see the lambs? I'm like, yeah, sure. This is after we were eating breakfast with them. We go over to this farm, and as we're going over, I'm asking them some questions. Well, so how old is this place? He says, oh, I think the family settled in like 1830. And
Oh, wow.
I'm like, Denny, I've been telling you. I said, what? Didn't you hear me? Right? And he goes, well, I didn't think this is what you meant by old. And I'm like, so anyway, we get to the farm, and I meet his son, and really nice young man. And it turns out you'd appreciate this, Chuck. He and the son and his daughter, so that would be the granddaughter of the friends, are competitive shooters.
Oh, very good.
They were telling me they were getting ready to go to Poland for this global competition, and this is the kind of thing. It's like, ooh. I think it's pistol, but it's timed. You go and you shoot a target, and you go to the next one. You go to the next one.
Yep.
Cool. So, after we had pleasantries, I started to go detect, and he comes out a little later, and he's, you having any luck? And I said, you're not going to believe. Yes. said, "Do you mind if I turn the camera on and film this?" I haven't posted this video yet. So he holds out his hand, and I put in his hand a Hard Times token.
Oh, sweet.
From like 1840 something, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hard Times tokens. Really cool.
Yep. Not
But
worth 1 cent.
right. It was like on one side, it was almost like a political, protest, But
Yep.
because of the money shortage, there was a law passed at the time by Andrew Jackson that you could only buy and sell land using silver or gold. And at that same time, the second U.S. bank closed. I think this is maybe when they were establishing the Fed or something. But those two things caused people to hoard coins. So there was this shortage. It was called the Panic of 1837. And so at some point, these local merchants, I mean, sometimes, you walk into a store, you want to buy a horse, you want to buy a loaf of bread. They had to make change, So somebody came up with the idea, well, we're just going to print our own coins, okay, during these hard times. And on one side, it was a protest to, the government, but the other side, they mimicked like a penny, that kind of a thing. But what do I find? But this Hard Times token from a nearby town that one of this man's ancestors, I think, flicked up in the air and shot a hole out of it. I dug this thing. I thought, oh, it's a large cent. Then I thought, oh, darn it, it's a washer. I dusted off. No, it was one of these Hard Times tokens that, somebody fired a hole. Now, I don't know if it was in the air or they had the token, propped up on a fence post. I don't know. But I handed him this thing and I said, okay, open your hand. I put it in his hand. And I said, now, before you look at this, I think you and your daughter are going to do really well in this competition because I just discovered that your family has been shooting, apparently, since the mid-1800s.
Cool.
So he ended up giving it to his daughter, who, by the way, placed 6th in the world at that competition.
She's sponsored.
Wow.
She's sponsored, I guess. Does she shoot
That's a great question. I don't know if she is. I know, like he makes his own rounds.
Yep.
And we followed them on Instagram and everything during their trip. But I mean, so impressive. Now, and I'll just say one last thing on this story. I think I have found one Hard Times token prior to that.
Yeah.
In the next 3 weeks, I found 2 more. 3 of them in like 3-4 weeks in different locations.
That's awesome.
Does that happen to you guys sometimes? It's like,
yes. Yep.
Weirdest thing.
I past couple years, for some reason, I've been finding half times. And I mean, I found a couple, then I went years before I found another one. And then I found another one and another one. I actually found 7 in 2 seasons. I mean, half times don't just pop up that much here. And yeah, I've had a string of that. And then I had a bump over 2 years on silver dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, it was years between finding a silver dollar. Then bang, I find 4 in a season. So I don't know.
Hey, if you guys don't mind, I'm looking at the chat. I think Digging Buddy had a question. I'm thinking you're asking about the ranges on this, and he asked, "Is this adjustable for different ranges?" Yes. So remember, this is to my knowledge, this is the first multi-frequency high frequency coil. So in multi-frequency range, I think there's 4 default settings like that where what you do is, and these vary by program, but you can adjust these to 21 different single frequencies, but it's called frequency max. But in multi-frequency, it goes up to 90. In single, it goes up to 120. But yeah, like some crazy 21 in multi-frequency. I think 49 in single. So you can select. That's the cool thing. Just one other point with this. I know some of you were around back in the day when we had rabbit ears on TVs, and you could turn on that TV and get a picture. But this coil, you can turn this coil on and go. Turn it on, noise cancel, right? But this coil, if you really want to take full advantage of this coil, there's all kind of different things. XP introduced something new called negative silencer on this. There's also something called an iron ground. So to use this coil, if you have an XP Deus 2, to use this new coil, you have to do a software update. And in that update, there's some new software features for this, as well as for this XTREME Hunter product as well. But what I'm trying to say is you can use this if you want to turn on and go, but if you really want to get your money's worth and optimize this, it's super powerful. But there's a lot you can play with on that. So I hope that answered your question there, Diggin' Buddy.
And I think Barb had a couple of questions, but I'm not seeing them.
Barb, I have some. I'm scrolling here just a minute. Go ahead, Barb. Put it in chat. I'm looking at chat. This is where we play the theme from Jeopardy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll give her a minute.
Yeah, I thought she said she had some questions, but so far I'm not seeing them because I was watching.
This is the new charging unit. Okay. And I know some of you are interested just like me, but it looks like it's magnetic, but it's not. So what it is, it's a clip. It slides onto the end right here. Okay. I have this actually hooked up right now to portable battery chargers. So there is a light right here that's charging, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure. I think once it's fully charged, it blinks. But what's kind of unique, this battery, for those of you that hunt in England and all day and stuff, not that you'd hunt with this all day, but maybe you want to if it's a stubble field. But the runtime on this can be up to 10 hours. 10 hours, it's crazy. But what's a little different is to charge this to 95%. It takes 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
To 95%. And for some reason, if you're an overachiever, if you're overmodulated, there might be one of us here that's like that.
No.
To get that extra 5%, you have to charge it for like 6 hours. Okay, but anyway, I mean, 95% is good enough for me.
So here's a question that actually that is a misnomer. I don't know who started that rumor, but we've had a question in the chat that, is it true if you upgrade to 3.0 or higher, it will automatically save your custom settings for you?
That's 100% false. If you do an update with XP, and to my knowledge, any of these folks, okay, but I'll just stick to XP. You lose your custom settings. You can re-enter them, okay, but you want to write down what those custom settings are. But you know, a little surprise, I just found this out myself. What you don't lose is additional coils that you may have already paired. So, you know.
Oh, yes. Yeah, when you do the updates, the other coils will still remain in your menu, just not your programs.
Okay, here's a question for you. Batteries. Is there a warranty on that battery? Length of time?
5 years.
5 years.
And the battery.
And how does it seal?
Yeah. How does it? Yeah. How do you change that?
They are swappable. You know, if any of you are familiar with the Deus 1 high frequency coil,
yep,
right, and all the other coils, the battery's down in here. And by the way, one little side note, let's see if you can see this, right? The other charging clip, right?
Yep.
Right? Let me show you something, right? This guy, right? You use this, you snap it on your other coils. Don't be confused. XP, kudos to them. They're smart. They're using the same mold for their skid plate, right? Just so happens, some of you say, hey, wait a minute. I thought this is where you charge it. This is just left over from the skid plate from the FMF high frequency coil, the earlier one.
Okay. Yeah, they didn't change the mold. They just kept going with it.
Correct. But there is a cable that runs up, it connects right here, that runs up the shaft that connects to the battery. It's real simple, okay? It's real simple. When you unbox this thing, there's plenty of videos out there. You'll see, you feed that cable through there. I had to grab a pair of needle nose pliers just to pull it a little bit. It's on an elastic, cord. It's plenty long, right? It will pop out. That's the battery right there, okay? But quite frankly, I don't know why you would need to. The runtime on this thing is so long, but maybe like someone like Ronnie, who's going to Aruba and he's diving every day, he might want to have one charging while he's out the next day and something like that.
Yeah.
Okay? I think Ronnie's going to like this because of the size, diving. I think he's going to. I haven't talked with him. Barb had a question, or somebody had a question about, is it chatty? And by the way, the battery is already sealed. It's IP68. Okay, so you don't need to do anything special, but you do with this machine because it's wireless. Okay, you do need to use the antenna, the wireless cable, right, that comes up to your remote. And if any of you have done that with the other XP coils, it ships, it slides onto this little knob right here, and it actually ships. This is the FMF coils with a rubber band. You don't really need that, I think, with the FMF coils. With this, you really do. You want to kind of lock that on there. But you will need that cable, but you don't have to do any extra waterproofing. Okay? Good up to 20 feet. And somebody, is it chatty? Boy, you watch the videos and you guys make your own conclusion. Not at all what I thought. I was worried I was going to be digging a ton of small things, nails and so forth. It's not chatty. What I want to say, one thing I think XP needs to improve, but I'll tell you, I was surprised how good of a job just on stock settings. It found a gold chain, okay, and a small earring that I did not hit. If you go watch my latest video, I could not hit with my XP.
Okay.
9-inch FMF coil.
Yeah.
And I didn't even take advantage of a higher sensitivity and a lower side.
You were 100% stock. You didn't go pick a single frequency. You just put her on and went stock.
And correct.
Okay.
So, but I will say with this update, so the software you need to run this is beta version. I don't know if everybody knows what beta is, but what beta is, it's a term. The software industry says that, hey, we don't have this figured out yet. Full disclosure, we're going to launch updates with a much higher frequency than we normally would. That's what beta software means. It's not yet stable. Okay. But one of the things I'm hoping they improve upon, they added the negative silencer, the ground brake, as I mentioned, but the target IDs are, I'm finding, a little compressed on some of the the silver high conductive type items. So I'm hoping they rectify that in their next update.
Right.
Where they were from, but I like audio. The XP is an audio machine, but of course, right? There's a reason why we have the screen. There's a reason why we have target ID. You want to look at that too. Okay. But no, if anything, not as chatty as I thought. There have been a couple of times I'm swinging it. I have to like go over something. Just is it on? So yeah, you have to let me know what you all think about that.
Right.
Let me see.
So
I don't want
for
this
Barb,
to be about the HF2, but let me see if there's any other questions.
So for Barb, I'm going to say that obviously part of the answer is shape, and the gold nugget, it depends on the purity, it depends on the size and all of that. But Barb says that she put a 1 gram round gold piece, a 1 gram rectangle gold piece, and a gold nugget 1/10 by 3/10 of an inch, and she can't figure out why the round gold rang up 74, the rectangular one rang up 54, and it missed the gold nugget.
So don't know. Could you always wonder with gold, is it the same carat? Number one, 9, 10, 14, 24, we don't know.
Right.
Let's assume it was the
Right.
same. But
On the nugget,
remember,
who knows? On the
with
1 grammers, they're probably 3.9.
Well, if she had North Carolina gold,
well,
if she had a gold nugget from North
yeah,
Carolina, average out there is 90%.
I'd love to. Maybe we can talk more when we're there, Barb, or even bring some of them by the booth. But
Yeah, see what
remember
that HF2 coil does with it.
Yeah, that
Yep.
JS1 coil was selectable single frequency, but I believe that only went up to 70 kilohertz, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, multi-frequency, right? We got a couple vantage points, hitting this thing. That could be one of the reasons why I had that. I did not have the elliptical. I had the 9-inch round FMF high frequency coil. I had the round one, the white one, right? And it was it could be, right? This is
Uh-huh.
not at all a night and day. But I'm going to tell you, more is not necessarily better on this. I mean, 120 kilohertz is really high. And on my video, I should have had it to show to you, but you guys have you seen those little, those perfume vials, those little glass tubes?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have one of those that's filled with gold flakes. Okay. Now, even though this thing's like 2 inches long, the machine doesn't see that as one item. I mean, there's 30, 40 items in there. It's a really hard target. I took a couple of those small flakes out, and on the stock settings, right, the highest frequency, which was in mono, I hit that thing, and it was faint. But I also, I can show you this demo there because I'm going to bring that with me. I didn't want to do this for my video, but when I just jacked up my sensitivity a little bit more and adjusted the reactivity, I can't believe I hit that thing. One last comment. This is really weird, but one of the things I'm experiencing with this in some conditions, some programs, is I'm actually getting some better results and some. My buddy Brian White was the first to come up. I want to make sure to give him credit for this, Southern Relic Adventures, but we're seeing some results different with like a lower reactivity than you would expect, right? High frequency is supposed to be really good with separation. You would think high reactivity, send more power to the processing speed. Lower reactivity, right? You're going to go a little deeper, but you're going to lose. We're actually seeing some better separation, oddly enough, with some lower reactivity settings. Don't know why. So, I mean, a lot to unpack with this coil. It's powerful.
Well, bring it on. Let's see how she does. I've got some gold you can test on too. One thing, now, Deus needs to work on is take one and specifically work on gold nuggets.
Well, and being you kind of go up to Alaska a couple times a year, Chuck. I can understand why you would want them to do that, right?
Yeah.
What
Well,
do you have
the number one detector sold in the world today are gold machines.
Is that right? Yeah.
Brazil, Africa, United States, Australia, the gold fields, Philippines. A lot of detecting for gold there, quietly done. And the number one detector in the world today being sold are gold machines.
You're killing me, Chuck. Because I think I dropped $50 in raffle tickets at the Dig Fest. I was trying to win that bunny rabbit gold nugget, Remember that?
Yep.
So if you donated, folks, I got to tell you, I was in Boston visiting Heidi Fisher, Boston Heidi. Tim knows Heidi.
Yeah, I know Heidi.
Another guy, Boston Mike, comes over, and Mike went on one of these trips with Chuck up to Alaska. Okay, and he is an incredible detectorist. He's really
Yes.
tall. He he swings like this massive Minelab coil. Okay, over there in England, and the guy has a ton of silver hammered coins, but he brings over this gold nugget that he found up in Alaska. And Chuck, I'm going to ask you to tell the story about it.
Well, we were on a claim that had been pushed, and by pushing, they take the tailings and spread them out. And I won't go into all the nuances, but I had gotten permission on that from the owner, and he brought the cat up to spread it. They worked together with that site. Moving forward, we were in there, and let's see, Paul Hill wasn't there 10 minutes, got a 1 ounce one. Illinois Digger, he's been on that one, got a 1 ounce one. I've gotten quarters, but I'm down the road a ways on the back end of that claim, and I hear Mike holler for me. He said, "Get up here." So I hopped on the bike and I got up there, and he walked over and he threw this thing in my lap. He said, "I don't know if that's the real deal or not." And I picked it up and I looked at him, I smiled, and in my words, "You don't know what you got. You have no idea." And I started cleaning it, a little spit on it, and then you could start seeing the yellow coming up. And it was 7.4 troy ounces.
I got to hold it in my hand. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I don't
And
think he
Tim
would
got
mind
a,
me saying that. They tried to buy that from him from multiple times, and he's not
it,
pardoned.
yeah, and some insane amount of money too.
Yeah.
Literally, Tim found a 275. I found 2 ounces. My biggest up there is 3. It's just got to be out there working and looking, and they just added 56 more acres of claims that needs to be. They're going to be clearing, and they're actually taking 10 acres at approximately and going to commercially mine it. It's so rich. So,
Unbelievable.
and that has been mined and remined for a century plus.
An incredible find. Another question about the HF2 is with regard to depth. And Randy, full disclosure, here's what I'm going to tell you to do. My buddy, he's in the chat, Brian White, Southern Relic Adventures. I know he has done some depth tests. I'm not there yet. I'm going to do some of those on the other side of Swing into Summer. But from what I gather from a distance, it's surprising. My expectations, I don't expect this to match even my 9-inch coil. But I think Brian has done some not only depth tests, but he just posted a comparison with another XP, another DS2 coil, and a competitive machine. So check out Southern Relic Adventures about the depth. Or Brian, if you want to make a comment in chat, go for it.
Yeah. So, yeah, well,
Brian,
as more info gets out there, it's going to be worked on real hard with a lot of people that tear into it for the nuances. Others would like to just put it on, do just what you did, and take off and use it. So you've got that balance of people that want to tear into the program and understand every frequency and kilohertz and what we're doing with, and you got the others. I'm going to put it on because it gives me the opportunity to work a whole new level higher.
And if you just want to be, honestly, I'll use the word a little lazy, and you don't have time to learn these nuances yet. At least cursor through the different programs, right? Yep. And go through the menu settings and pay attention to what the max frequency setting is for each of these programs, right? In multi-frequency. Okay.
Mhm.
23, 53, and so at least be aware of that. But when you're comfortable, when you're ready, this is one coil where, again, if you really want to, it reminds me that how there's some folks who like hot rods, and they're trying to get an extra mile per gallon or an extra mile per hour. This is a fun coil if you're into that.
Yep.
Okay. And
Right.
honestly, you're probably not
Any
taking advantage of it.
a little more horsepower.
You're geeking out.
You're
You're
geeking out.
digging into it,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and
But yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm going to start with some of those above ground tests, and a lot of the tests that I know Brian had done, that I've done too, is, I wanted to see how well this thing unmasks. Okay, if I've got a high conductive or a low conductive item right beneath a nail, this is the stuff, like, I'm gonna take this first back to a place that I've been. Will I use this for the first time in a new field? I don't know. Probably not, unless it's super, super trashy and it's stubbly. Maybe it's a pasture field where there's been a lot of habitation. It's heavily mineralized soil, maybe. But I wanted to test the two things. Obviously it's going to be, you can get in those tight places. Okay, we know that. But I wanted to, and I know it's going to be better on mineralized beaches. Our Culpeper friends are going to love this. But I wanted to test separation, the unmasking, and how small, okay, that this thing might find. So, but I'll do some of those. I'll do some of those coming. But quite frankly, I'm not expecting it to be as deep. Brian is saying in chat, it's deeper than what Barb is swinging. It's deeper than the Deus 1 high frequency coil, which is interesting.
cool.
Well, actually, that makes perfect sense.
Yes. So, well, for the Deus users out there that want to check this coil out, it'll be at.
Right. This is their chance to check
This
it
is
out.
your
It'll be a
chance.
swing
Check
in the
it out.
summer.
Come on down. Get in the hunt. Get involved. Meet some of the best people out there. That's going to be a good thing, Mr. Rizzo. And again, he pulled off a wonderment. He got us some Deus, a Deus 2, and some other things donated, and I appreciate that. So does the club. And we
Yes,
have a lot of
silver.
good. We've got Mind Lab going to be there, Mr. Rizzo for Deus, and we have Naka. Actually, two of the best representatives for Naka in the field today, and they're going to be on site. You got questions? Come ask them. Come see. Come try. Come have fun.
Well, and you got some Garrett folks there too, right?
Oh yeah. Inevitably,
Yep.
you'll run into KG and Ringy, and
Maybe we're on the playground.
Mr. Gary Penta. And he makes some of the best miniatures you could ever imagine, and he designs patches, and he's an artist.
And he designed the swing into summer patch.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he'll have some of his wares there. There'll be some raffles against some of his miniature stuff that he does. So, hey, we got all kinds of stuff going on. It's going to be a blast.
You got Frank's. Hey, by the way, did he rename the Ugly Box? Is this like something else? Did I hear that? Is it called the Hurricane?
It's called the Hurricane.
Isn't that like a drink down in New Orleans or something?
Yes, it is. You can go.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, and the Hurricane does just what it says to you, too, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
And Frank actually posted that up over in Detect America to kind of give people a little sneak peek at it, and said, there's a hurricane headed north. And you'd be surprised how many people sent me messages going, is he talking about the box or is he talking about Barb?
Right.
That could be.
Oh, is this what you want to do? Okay, I just know I got to talk to Chuck before I meet Barb. So I'm ready for you, Barb. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, we've been working on it.
Well, and
you'll meet. Yeah. By the way, there'll be Frank is bringing in the Davenport Historical Society. The ladies will be there, and they'll be signing up anybody that wants to join that. It's well worth it because the rich history around Davenport, Iowa, and the crossings and what went along the river here, they have a lot of information
Yeah. Now, there's also,
for you.
I'm
You can
coming
do some
to my
research on
RV.
that.
Go ahead, Chuck. I'm sorry.
Nope, go ahead. But
No, I
we
was
have a
saying,
lot of people there that you can meet.
okay, very good. I am coming down to my RV, and I do have a refrigerator, and it is going to be filled with something cold.
Well, talk to Frank.
Nice.
Okay.
Frank,
All right.
Frank will have something to stick in there and help you along the way.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I'll be keeping an eye out for Frank.
So Frank is coming.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well,
No, not
Juarez.
Latigalo. Frank Juarez.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Frankie Juarez. He'll be there. We gotta have
Frankie
Jeff
Juarez.
Frank.
Yep. He's one of the great emissaries of our hobby. Frank is one of the nicest persons you'll ever meet. And he likes to sit down in the evening and drink a little homemade wine with you.
When the sun goes down, just track down Tony Fazoli and his Kool-Aid.
That's right. And that came from another swing in this. Oh, no, that Tony Fasoli came from Florida Hunt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ross, if you by chance swing by Kroger's and you can get a can of Skyline chili. Oh yeah. Oh, you don't know.
I take it that Rob's putting his order in, huh?
I'm just no. It's just a if you by chance.
Chili dogs. There you go.
Yeah, you're talking the regular like chili sauce.
Correct. The Scott. Yeah. Yeah. You can either do the dogs or put it over spaghetti, Chuck.
And
I'll tell you what.
Frank is the hot dog chef.
You give me a call or shoot me a text tomorrow. You let me know how many cans you're looking for.
Oh Lord!
Just one. So, by the way, what are the refreshments like there at this event?
Ice water.
Over a food truck?
Yep. See, don't let it be said that you can't find ice water in hell, because it's going to feel about that hot.
The temperatures are there. We'll have water and pop and Gatorades and that kind of stuff for everybody.
Okay.
I think they got it for
pack their lunches, or is there a
nope? There is a potluck lunch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're telling me Chicago Dig Fest has some competition? Okay.
Yeah, we got lunch here. We just don't get Popeye's chicken.
Ooh,
That's
those sound like fighting words. They had homemade stuff at Dig
yes.
Fest.
It was good stuff.
Good.
Some of the gals really turn out some awesome things to munch on. I look forward to it. Yes.
Well,
no, it's a good time. We'll have a good time. We'll probably run.
Looking forward to seeing everyone, and appreciate both the invite to the event and
well, we appreciate you
being on here tonight.
Well, that's great. We enjoy that. So, and you keep bringing us the Deus information. I have some stalwart Deus users here, and they're after me for the coil, and I've used the Deus. I've had some success with it, but I tend to lean toward a couple particular gold machines the most. So,
well, listen, I know you know I have a Manicore because I bought that 9 coil from you, and it is my number 2. It it's often sad because I'm not using it as much, but I'll tell you, traveling, the portability, the way for me and the way I hunt, where I hunt, XP is hard to beat, but that Manicore is a good machine too.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
And my lab did come out with a new one, so that should hit the market in September. The Gold Monster 2.
Saw that. Yeah, I'm wondering if Deb will I don't.
I'm hoping she's got one with her. She was going to try to have it for me to show off a little bit, but we'll see. And then there's other things that are going to be brought to light at the hunt. There's going to be a new machine announced at this hunt.
Ooh, another
Yeah.
tease. Another tease.
And
Okay.
I'm not even telling you which company. I'll let you try and figure that one out if you don't know.
Interesting.
So, yeah, they like to come and surprise me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll get to take a look at that one. I think it's coming with them, but it's not fully
Ooh.
releasable yet. So, but
Tim Blank is bringing. This is breaking news too. I just want to make sure everybody knows. He's bringing some German Senf, which is mustard. Senf.
ooh,
Sounds good, Tim.
Nice.
I'm in. I'm in on that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I like my mustard. And mustard has to be on a hot dog. It's illegal to put ketchup on hot dogs in Illinois.
I can tell I haven't eaten. I'm hungry. Barb's talking
You
about.
go to Chicago, they'll shoot you if you put ketchup on a mustard
She's
on a
bringing.
hot dog. But
Barbara's bringing pepper relish. But you know what they do in Chicago? Alan knows this. They put Gardenera
yes.
on their what's that Portillo's place? That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, there's a Portillo's now in Davenport, Iowa, right down the road.
Oh, I could eat that all day.
Yeah, Portillo's is good stuff. But a Chicago dog, I mean, hands down the best. But in Rock Island, Illinois, one of the top mustard manufacturers in the world, won all the awards for years. Boji's. Botjes. Boji's mustard. And that stuff's killer. That's great.
I don't know if Scotty's still on here or not. We'll find out. But you know, in Wisconsin, I want to say it's in Mount Horeb. Okay, we have something called the International Mustard Museum.
Oh, cool.
Used to be in Mount Horeb, or maybe they moved to it's I think that's where it is. And this guy was a lawyer who for some reason lost his job, and someone, you know, he's trying to think like, what do I do? I need to spend, I gotta, you know, what do I do during my day? And I gotta make some money.
Yeah.
I said, well, what do you love? He said, well, I love my wife. You know, you can't really, you know, do anything with that. I love my dog. You know, that was my wife. And he's, what else do you, I love mustard. And he decided to start, and anyway, people come from all over the world to visit the Mustard Museum.
Cool.
Nice.
That would be worth a stop to me.
Yeah.
I like my mustard. There are some out there that don't cut it, and then there's some right there like Boji's is top of the pyramid for me. And I've actually been to their plant down there, and it's a family run thing, and it's Boji's mustard, good stuff.
Yeah, outstanding, guys. Well, hey, I'm going to sign off. Let you guys do what you do, and I look forward to seeing everybody there. And please stop by if nothing else, just to say hello. But
you got it.
I know someone's going to walk away with a couple nice surprises. And remember, there's a surprise. Teaser.
Ooh.
That's right. It will be it'll be nostalgic.
Yeah. We'll have a good time. We're going to have a good time.
Josh knows what it is. Josh knows what it is. Yes, indeed. So, all right, guys. See everybody soon.
Later.
All right. Thanks, Rob. We will see you this weekend.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Josh. We'll get out of here. I got this problem at least taken care of on this setup. It's
almost.
So I'll try and take care of the modulation.
Right. Yep. But we're getting you there. We're getting you there. Until Geek Squad shows up, we got you covered.
There you go, bud. Well, everybody have a safe trip here that are coming. Everybody travel well. And we'll see you Friday at meet and greet and at the hunt. And there's some surprises involved in this one. So we'll have a great time. And thank you, Mr. Rizzo, for being on and filling us in on that new coil.
Yes, sir.
All right. talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Chuck. We'll see you this weekend. For those that are still in the chat, don't go anywhere. We got a couple more quick announcements.
There you go. We'll talk to you all later.
All right. So, for those that are still in the chat, obviously tonight is the last live run that we have before swing into summer. Sunday, there will be no show because we will be returning from swing into summer and unpacking, unwinding, things of that nature. For people that are used to hearing the live remote from the meet and greet, not real sure how the bandwidth is going to allow or anything like that. What we are going to try to do, I'm traveling a little lighter in a sense, you could say, and we will try to do direct YouTube live streams for this. Maybe get a few up from the meet and greet. Not sure how it'll turn out. And then we will definitely be trying to get some of the event, especially of the big announcement that everyone is waiting for this weekend. And at the very least, if I can't get them to go live, hopefully I can still capture those to upload as soon as absolutely possible for those that can't make the event or the meet and greet and would like to see that sort of thing. Also, we will be doing what we can to get photos for content for the page, for the channel, things like that. Probably no loud hair this event, which might be a good thing. Wasn't enough time to set anything in motion or anything like that. So there is that, but there may be some loud shirts. I don't know. Time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see. And it looks like maybe let's see. Looks like maybe Chuck is still on here. Anything else you had to add, Chuck? No, he's not on here. Okay. All right. So, if you enjoyed the show, make sure and throw us a like. You can follow us here on the Beyond Sight and Sound channel on YouTube. Hit that notification bell if you do subscribe so you know when we go live, if we can get off the ground in Illinois. Sometimes reception and things of that nature can be a real roll of the dice. So you've got that. You've got the Beyond Sight and Sound page on Facebook, Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group. You've also got the lovely podcast distribution services, if that is your cup of tea. And I believe that is all. Barb, mañana. Everyone else, if you're traveling, travel safely. Live to dig another day. That's just the way it goes. If you're not attending the event, maybe you can get out and dig, post up the photos. You know how we like to see them. We're out of here. Travel safe, all. We'll see you this weekend. Swing into summer. Illinois, here we come. We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.